Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
This is Roger Chen from University of San Francisco Center for Business Studies and Innovation in Asia Pacific. Welcome to our interview program. First, we want to thank Geek House to host this interview. And this is a very unique venue where Facebook or Meta was founded several years ago. And in our today's interview, we want to welcome Brandon Wang from Synopsys. And Brandon, first, thank you very much. Would you please briefly introduce yourself?
Yes, I've been in Silicon Valley for more than 30 years, right? So I started with the designers. Currently, I'm in the corporate strategy group at Synopsys. I was very fortunate to caught the internet boom when Silicon Valley moving from silicon to internet. And later I was with a company called ARM. We make the technologies that enables the mobile era. So again, very fortunately, grow with the mobile and see the valley from silicons to internet to mobile applications. And in the last 6 years with Synopsys, I'm focused on the corporate strategy, look at how a company sets strategy and enables both organic and inorganic growth.
Thank you. And also, I remember correctly, you are the vice president from the CEO office of Synopsys, yes, right? And in charge of corporate strategy, which is great.
Acquiring startup, objective, criteria, and integration.
I know Synopsys does a lot of acquisitions. Maybe you can elaborate on this particular practice. For example, what is the process of evaluating potential acquisition target, do the due diligence, and more importantly, integrating after the acquisition? Because that's it's lots of things for startup companies to learn. If you can share that, because many startup companies will be interested in being the acquisition target of large companies like Synopsys. Could you elaborate on this to help the entrepreneurs?
Yeah, just like any corporate, the high-level principle of buying a company is for inorganic growth. So there's a couple of high-level angles to look at, and depend on the stage of the startups, right? So we've bought hundreds of companies in history, and we, last 3 years when I was at Synopsys, we did around 20 deals. So it is really, a lot of them, I would say, we call it the tuck-in. Basically, is acquisition of a unique technology.
Unique technology.
Yeah. So, but sometimes the acquisition, if from high level, I would say this is probably not specific, is that you either find a target to expand your market.
Okay, that's one reason for acquisition.
Yeah. And or you buy a company because that company have a unique technology. Most likely, hopefully, fill the gaps, right? So that it can be part of the integrated solution to the end customer. So sometimes that's where you buy company at different phase of that company, right? A lot of technology acquisitions could even happen earlier, not necessarily depend on the revenue of that startup, but heavily depending on the validation of that technology by our customers, right? So,
could you elaborate this? That's a very interesting point. You mean some startup acquisitions, you can do it at a very early stage once the technology is validated by customers. So for that type of acquisition, it's mostly serving what kind of strategic objective of the company? Is it for the integration into the existing solutions, or because you're talking about the other objective could be the market expansion, for example. So for this very early investment decisions, typically it fits into what type of strategic objectives?
Yeah, these are usually smaller acquisitions, and we call it the tuck-in acquisitions. The purpose of is to really the end goal is to provide a better solutions to our customer.
To improve your solution.
Yes, to our end customers.
Yeah.
Right? So you know that a good technology sometimes may not be the deployment of a technology takes time.
Mm-hmm.
And Synopsys can definitely accelerate that process, right? Because we already have a well-built channel.
Yeah.
Think about we have thousands of people in the field selling product already.
Yeah.
So there's very, very natural synergy.
Makes sense.
About taking a technology and deploy through our well-established customer base, the channels, and quickly find that synergy and push this good technology
to scale up
quicker for customer use. And that's where that, like any acquisition, we look at what are the synergetic value. And this has always been a good one. Of course, assuming that technology is truly valuable to our customer. Like it's either that it has a very unique algorithm that can bring our entire performance to be better, or they fill some gap of application, a relatively niche application that ultimately help us to serve our customer better.
Okay, so does that mean actually if acquisition is to help Synopsys to expand into a new market space, then probably you will kind of wait a little bit till the startup company is kind of mature enough, compare with the technology acquisition? Is it?
Yeah, I mean,
say that way?
It's fair to say that for the latter stage companies, we definitely look at the revenues.
Oh, I see.
Right. It's all about how much market you have already penetrated, and how pervasive your solution has been deployed. The customer base. Now, this customer could be the same customer or could be adjacency customer.
Right.
So it provides not just better solution, but it provides additional solution to the customer base. So those are the different criteria as you develop your company into latter stage. You do need to look at the regular P&Ls of the company, the matrix that we've been talking about. How do you build your customer base? What's your revenue? And even sometimes how profitable you are.
So it sounds like actually for this type of market expansion type of acquisitions, you do look a lot of business related criteria, like revenues, growth potential.
Yes, when you have a certain size, you definitely have you can calculate your cash flows. Yeah. So you can build a better kind of financial model to value the company.
That makes a lot of sense. Maybe the other thing you can just elaborate. After, for example, what is the Synopsys kind of internal process after acquiring a startup company, for example? What is the absorption process? What's the integration process or the routine, which I think it's very valuable for many large corporations to learn?
Yeah, I think we since we have done a lot of acquisitions, I would consider that we're an oily machine in terms of integrate technology into our product roadmap. So yes, it takes a lot of effort. The integration is a very key part about really realize the initial value that you initially targeted. So I think that part it takes an entire team, but also it's important to have certain factors in your due diligence phase to be considered. So to basically smell what are the successful rate for that company or the team being integrated, right? So one of the things is the culture fit. Right?
Culture fit.
And it's harder to be reflected into your financial modeling. But it's very critical that you make sure that it is become our CEO called one Synopsys, right? So,
yeah.
It has to be integrated very naturally into our culture. Of course, product portfolio as well. Yeah, it takes a lot of effort. Takes a lot of rework, right? It's that some of the infrastructure need to be a lot of rework. So we give times for these pieces to be be part of Synopsys.
Do you have a separate team specializing in the integration? And also relating to that, do you have like a typical practice to handle or deal with these acquisition target? For example, do you put them in a separate as a separate entity, give them a lot of autonomy, or do you naturally disintegrate the start of a company and integrate back into the Synopsys systems? What's the process there?
No, it depends on the stage of the company. The technology would be quite flexible. But we do have a dedicated team to do. It's a cross-functional team with project leaders, and it takes all the different functions to be together, right? From people's, from ITs, from of course the product team, R&Ds, our product management team. It's a big effort together. Be able to do that. Some of them are transaction based, about renegotiate contract. Some of them are very R&D centric, about unify the data models and things like that. So it's across many different areas, and it's a long journey, but that is very very instrumental in terms of deciding how really successful this acquisition is. It's not at the time of close.
Right.
It's at the time when that piece truly materialized the initial value or synergy that you believe it can.
Right. So that's what we're talking about, the uncover the value. And also seems to me saying at Synopsys, you have like a cross-functional team to manage this integration process, right? Can range from the renegotiate the contract with the startup customers to the the data integrations and all sorts of things. Yeah, now I understand why it's a journey.
Thank you for watching.